Hi, welcome to the Bringing Respite to Your Community workshop informational session. I'm so excited to have you listening to this today. I'm Manson, and I'm the Training and Development Specialist here at Respite Care Association of Wisconsin. This workshop is a new workshop that we've developed within the last year and a half, and it has been fantastic. We're really good about it, and the feedback from participants have been really positive, and we keep our community workshop. So it is a workshop, it's a 6-week workshop that ultimately is to help communities help you create a respite program in your community. And so the ultimate goal is to increase the number of respite programs throughout Wisconsin. And so we have participants that attend this workshop from all over the state, and they are coming in at different points, and we'll kind of talk about that in a little bit as far as like their starting point. We also want to provide as much information as possible so that you can make an educated decision about starting this program or a business. Again, the respite program could look different to different people. And so we want to provide you information. Is this what you want? Is this something that you can feasibly do? And what do you need to think about? What are things you need to get started? What might be some of those startup costs? We also want to create a supportive community of peers. So the workshop is a small group, so it's 10 to 12 participants max. And that's really so that we're able to give feedback to each other, we're able to receive feedback, we're able to learn and really be able to build each other up. Respite is such a needed service. We don't need to be competing with each other. We really should be able to build this community so that if you have questions, you can reach out to some of the other workshop participants as well. And then our CAW also wants to provide ongoing support and consultation to respite programs throughout the state. We want you to succeed and provide a high quality program and have more programs throughout Wisconsin. So we want to support you in that however we can. So who is this workshop for? So participants coming into this workshop really start at lots of different places. And I say participants, but sometimes it's a group. Or I say individuals, but sometimes it's it's two people together that are wanting to start a program and not necessarily doing it on their own. So we have some people that might be providing individual services. So maybe I provide in-home respite and I want to expand. I'm looking at creating a program and not just providing in-home respite one-on-one. I want to provide more. We have other people that might have been developing a program and are really close to opening or have opened and just want to make sure that they thought about all the things they need to think about. And this workshop is a great opportunity to make sure that they are doing the things they need to do or modifying parts of their program. So we've had a few people come in because with COVID, what their program was is no longer what it is. And so part of this workshop is talking about program growth, and they were able to come in and come up with new ideas and hear about new ideas of how they have to modify their program because of what COVID has done to direct care services and programs over the last couple of years. Other people have a program idea, but not really sure where to start. We've actually had quite a few participants that are either direct support professionals or are like teachers' aides or teachers themselves that really just want to move out of whatever setting they are in and start their own business and build a respite program. So they have an idea, but they don't really have any forward progress yet. And this workshop is that first step. And then we have some people that know there's a need in the community. They're not really sure what direction to go. They're coming in with an open mind. I'm not even sure what population they might want to work with. They just know there's this need and it sounds really cool. And it could be a great business opportunity for me. So there's a lot of different places that people come from, which makes it a really interesting workshop as you start to interact together. So respite programs can look lots of different ways. And one of the cool things about this workshop is we talk about lots of different program models. So respite programs could be in a faith-based community where maybe a church sends in respite workers one-on-one into their participants' homes. Others might be maybe using a church or a community center just as a home base, but having volunteer respite group programs or doing respite activities while a service is going on so the family caregiver can attend the service. So there's lots of different ways that it might look in a faith-based or community center type program. Some people have childcare or daycare already and want to expand into respite services as another funding source, because that is a huge need in the children's support system right now. And others want to work with kids and end up developing a childcare center that they run as a respite center. And so that's one program model. And the other end is the adult day centers and what that might look like as far as having respite participants as part of your center. Some might be community respite programs. So you have either a community center or you have a facility and you have programs come in, and that could look a lot of different ways as well. We've had some participants that we're starting staffing agencies. So we're employing people to go into other people's homes and provide one-on-one respite in their homes. We've also had some people that wanted to start overnight homes and do overnight respite care. Some might be more a program model of a crisis center or emergency respite and what that looks like. And some might be where you don't have your own facility at all. You're really a community rec program that provides respite out in the community. So that could be like a day in the park, or you use different community locations, like we're all going to meet at the zoo for our respite program for today. The amount of time a program can also vary as well. So some of these programs might be everyday services or offered every day, and it really is a business. Others might be a one evening a week. Tuesday evenings is respite night at this community center. Some might be 1 weekend a month, or for a week during the summer, and more like a day camp type setting, and just host respite that way. Others might be overnight. Others might be overnight and daytime hours. There can be so many different things. And that's one thing that this workshop is really cool about is we want to learn more about what respite might look like. So it might not be a business that you're starting. Maybe it is a 1 day a month respite program in your community to provide that much needed service to your community. Some respite programs are volunteer based and have no paid staff, including the people running it, and others have paid staff as far as serving the participants. So there's lots of different models, which is really cool and really exciting to see all the different directions that respite can go in. So what will you learn during this workshop? You'll learn a lot of stuff. We go through a needs assessment. So does your community need a respite program? And will people use your program if it does start? So if you do start it up. So just looking at the actual needs of your assessment. We also go into program design. We just talked about a ton of different program models. So we talk more in depth about what each of those look like and what might fit for your plan or for your population. And then we also go into Wisconsin licensing and certification. Depending on your program design, depending on the number of participants, depending on the ages, depending on your funding source, you might need to be a licensed or certified program. And so we go into what that looks like, show you where to find the information, give you more information to make sure you're on the right path. We talk about business structure. Are you going to be a sole proprietor, an LLC, a partnership, or maybe a nonprofit? So we go into some nonprofit discussion as well. Funding and budgeting, talking about where you are going to get your startup costs or how much it's going to cost to run your program, what that looks like, and where might some of those funding sources be. We spent some time on policies and procedures and documentation. That's really important on a legality standpoint to make sure that you are covered and that you are protecting your staff and your program and making sure your participants have a high quality program and that they're safe, but then also making sure that you are doing everything you need to do. We do provide some tax, insurance, and legal information. We have speaker professionals come in and do a Q&A during one of the sessions. And that is a great way to get some of these questions answered or hear from the professionals about these different topics. We go into staff, volunteers, recruitment, hiring, training, what that looks like, what that means, how to do that, what's really important to remember, all of those things. We also talk about program growth and expansion, and maybe you're not ready. Some people obviously are not even started yet, so much less talking about program growth, but it might be a good idea to start thinking about it at the beginning so that you do leave yourself some options and opportunities to grow your program. And then we also do talk about branding and marketing and what that means for your program, how to name a program or colors, logos, some of that fun stuff. So we cover a ton of information about what you need to start a new respite program or respite business. We present this information in lots of different ways. So it's an online module for half of the session. So it's 6 weeks, half are online at your own pace. The other half are scheduled face-to-face meetings. So during the online, there will be PowerPoint slides for you to go through and materials there. There will be some pre-recorded video lessons, so giving you more information about a variety of topics. We've done some interviews with respite directors throughout Wisconsin to give you more insight into what it might be like to be a respite director. And we're trying to really highlight different program designs, whether it's nonprofit, crisis center, adult day, child, really trying to highlight some of the unique different respite center designs that we have throughout the state. There's some online reading materials, just give you some information so that you are really building your knowledge. There's weekly discussion boards so that you're able to interact with the other participants and again, build each other up. The face-to-face Zoom meetings, during those times, there will be some like lecture type instruction, but then a lot of discussion. And let's talk about what's going on in your programs. Let's talk about your ideas. Let's build it up, see where it might go. And then we also have an opportunity for one-on-one meetings with myself. So if you wanted more detailed information about your program or not sure what direction to go, or you have more questions on a specific licensing type, we can meet one-on-one and talk about some of those things that we might not cover in that big group. And then we also have the live Q&As with different professionals that I had mentioned. So just a lot of different ways to give you information to really meet whatever learning style you might have. So how does this workshop lay out? So like I said, it's a 6-week workshop. Weeks 1, 3, and 5 are online at your own pace. So the session opens up. You have the week to go over the materials, to go through the PowerPoint slides, to watch the recorded videos, the discussion board. We have some recommended assignments to start thinking about so that you are really starting to build your program plan. And then weeks 2, 4, and 6 are virtual face-to-face meetings at a scheduled time. For each workshop, we do try to switch that day and time up to try to be able to meet as many people as possible. If that's something if you're interested in signing up for a workshop, we do have the dates and up on our website along with the registration tabs. Registration typically opens 6 weeks prior to the workshop. That way you'll have an opportunity to make sure the date and time of the face-to-face virtual does work for you. That is a really important part of this workshop, is making sure you do come to the face-to-face virtual. You get so much more out of this workshop by attending that with your peers. So any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. If you want to be put on a wait list for an upcoming session, definitely reach out to me. If you have specific questions or not sure if this workshop fits with what you are looking for, feel free to reach out. More information about the workshop is on our website, which is respitecarewi.org. Feel free to check it out along with the registration links. But again, I would be more than happy to chat with you more. Feel free to reach out, and thank you so much for listening about the Bringing Respite to Your Community workshop.